Hey everybody, welcome. This is the initial installment of the Gay Sports Fanatic. And this is for everybody, this channel, anybody that ever wants to watch. I am not a fanatic about gay sports. I don't even know what gay sports really are. I'm just a gay man who loves sports. I'm a fanatic. So some people say I should diversify my life a little more. That's probably true, but so be it. I plead guilty. So anyway, it's August. And this leads me to what I want to discuss because football fever for me, it's in the air now. Everybody's undefeated. All my teams, we have all this hope. Everybody has hope. It's only in October, November that hope for many is gone. But anyway, right now, everything's great in the world, except there's one thing I want to really point out real quick here, and it's about college football. I'm going to start my first show here about college football 2024 because I'm here to tell you that this is the most transformative year in the history of college football. And college football has went through a lot of transformation since its invention in 1869. So without further ado, here we go. So, how did we get here? Okay, as most of you probably know that would ever watch this, is that the Big Ten has expanded to 18 teams. They killed off the Pac-12 by rating their golden gooses, the USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington. So now it's an 18-team league, stretching from coast to coast. The SEC has added Texas and Oklahoma this year. They're coming in a year early. They were supposed to come in next year, but they wanted to get out of town, out of the Big 12, so they anteed up the money, and they're out of Dodge. They're in the SEC now. So you've got a 16-team league there. So they basically, one of my big questions is what's left? With the Big Ten having all of these great brand and the SEC loaded, both just loaded, what's left? Anyway, I'm going to start with telling you what it used to be like for me when I first started following college football. Well, you would watch, say, the Big Ten, and the games, the crowds, the atmosphere reflected the culture, a Midwest culture. So that's kind of a blue collar, gritty, grinded out, and that's the way the teams played. And in the SEC, you tune in and you could feel the heat, the weather, and that evangelical fervor in the crowd. And so those things, I mean, they're still there. I'm not saying that they're gone, but I just think it's being a little bit diluted, particularly with the Big Ten. And I'm going to touch on the Big Ten first because, again, this is a Midwest league. And now we've got, of course, Rutgers and Maryland, who, in my opinion, have no business being in this league at all, or conference, I should start saying, instead of league. And obviously, these West Coast teams, which are great schools, I mean, but they have very little in common with the Big Ten in many ways. For instance, I'm from Iowa. The difference between Iowa and Southern California, Los Angeles, is about like the G and the A. You might have to think about that analogy there, but let's just put it this way: there's no commonality at all. But here we are. We've got the Pack 2, by the way. I saw this magazine. This has culminated in this ridiculousness. This isn't the magazine's fault. It's just the way it is. So here is the Pack 2. It's Oregon State and Washington State. So they will pay for the crown of the Pack 2. The Pack 2. They'll play for the championship on November 23rd. So there we go with that. That's what we're down to. But anyway, I went through all the stages of grief, the bargaining, anger. I think there's 7 stages, and now I am at finally have landed on acceptance. I accept that this is the way that it is. So, what that means is, and looking at these schedules, is that there is not a weekend where there is not a lot of great games. So I'm looking, this is really kind of, I'm starting to get excited about this. Previous years in college football, you would have weekends where some Saturdays were kind of a little light in big games. Not anymore. Put that away. With the Big Ten, the SEC, every single week is a huge, huge game. So just fasten your seatbelts and let's go. So that's the advantage of this realignment. So all we really have left, of course, is the others. And so if I put, I think, 10 college football fans, or let's say rate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being total interest, 0 being none. So I would say the SEC and the Big Ten right now in 2024 are an 8 out of the 10 in fan interest. I mean, 80% of the interest is going to go to the SEC and the Big Ten. So you've got Notre Dame out there. That's a big one still. You've got in the Big 12, you got Colorado, Coach Dion out there. Everybody wants to see what he can do. Can he back up his great talk and jive with an actual team? And then of course there's the ACC. So there is other stuff going on, but I don't know. 8 might be low. I mean, it might be 8.5. I don't know. It's just, I think they're so dominant that the others are going to feel, like I said, very left out of the picture. So, anyway, but I'm excited for the season. I will be looking at schedules in later installments, looking at who's got a really tough schedule. I'm looking at you, the Oklahoma Sooners. I don't think I've ever seen a schedule this hard in my life. I'm also going to look at the games where West Coast teams in the Big Ten have to go fly all the way, take the Concorde. Well, this Concorde doesn't fly, but take a space shuttle to get to their, Rutgers or wherever they're going, and vice versa. Rutgers, Maryland going to Seattle. This is all. But anyway, it's got an exciting component to it. I'm kind of starting to get excited about it. I think it will be fun. Coupled with the 12-team playoff, which I'll also get on into later. That's just another huge factor that makes this year the year. So when you combine the NIL, the transfer portal, 12-team playoff, and then the king of it all, the expansion of the SEC and the Big Ten, this year is the most transformative year in the history of college football. So hold on. Tell me what you think in comments. Tell me what you agree with me or disagree or things I should bring up in the future. I'm open minded here. But that's I say fasten your seatbelts, hold on. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And it might be kind of exciting. So over and out. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.